gotta say this, man, a script written well,
Yeah.
a character that goes through real things like that. Those are you listed a few. The relationship with Leto's character, a world that's ostracizing him. I mean, those are great obstacles to overcome and engage it. If those scenarios are not there, those are dynamic. That's not. We talk about rom-coms floating across a cloud. That's not rom-com stuff. That's like the basement. That's what's great about dramas. The basement of your lowest base levels of pain and rage and everything. It's as low as an actor as you want to go. It's up to me. It's up to me and that character. I can go as far deep as I want to go. Now, the extent, the ceiling of joy, of life, the vitality of that is as high as I want it to be. No, in rom-coms, you're compressed. The ceiling can't be too high. The basement can't be too low. You'll sink the ship if you go too low. You get a good drama. It's like, it's up to you. The ceilings, there's no roof and there's no basement. You go, tell me how you feel, show me your rage. Show me your ecstasy.
And you don't have to analyze it, what that means. It's just, you can feel the character. Well, it's interesting that your relationship with the idea of vulnerability, because that's another thing that I was noticing in the book, that, you definitely, keep some shit to yourself, and, and some of it is emotional shit. And, you kind of give short shrift to certain things where you even, whatever that journey was through that 20 months, you must have been, just a pain in the ass and a wreck and a panic in some ways. Right. But
at times I sure was.
And then there's this other thing where we had to go back to Texas for personal reasons. So there's obviously struggles and real shit that, you're like, I'm going to keep this to me because I gotta, I gotta own that. That's my own heart.
And here's why. Let's bring up the family deal. That's just, if I bring up what it was that I came back for the family deal, the family crisis, if I go into details of that, I'm not interested in opening up my profile and so now people want to ask that, and that's not the profile on me and my something happened in my family. That's a different book. That's why I say, that's why bedrooms have doors on them, bro.
No, I get it.
Not you. I'm just saying,
understand.
I'm not you. You know what I mean? I'm saying there's certain things where it's like, no, you know what? I'll leave that up to. So I'll leave that.
But see, for me, seeing you now and talking to you now, I'm like, I wonder how he handled that shit. You know what I mean? Well, whatever the fuck it was, because I know how you handle, your decision to go to Africa because you came in your bed, but life, life handed up some shit. How do you deal with that shit?
Oh yes, there were nightmares amongst the wet dreams.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but I get that's a different book, but I think that's also has I don't know that you'll ever write that book, and it has something to do with your aversion to the idea of vulnerability.
Look, we got 24 hours in a day. You and I sit here and talk. We got an hour and a half. I'm one for, I still have a little bit of that survival mechanism of, I don't want to hear all of your big problems either. I like to hear how you overcome and go through them, but I'm going to go, look, that part happened. It's not constructive to the story of how I got out of it. I'm a little bit of that day. If you ain't got something good to say, don't say it at all. There's plenty of times I don't say, I'm doing stuff and saying stuff that's not
right. Of course.
The most constructive. Like I said, I step in plenty of shit myself. But I don't want to open that up to someone's armchair psychoanalysis of you. Well, so you went through with your family and they were going through that. There's another situation. So did you, I talk about non-deserving complexes, times of feeling insignificant and all those things, but that's my family business. Family business. In the same way, I don't talk, it's not a tell-all book.
No, I get it.
I don't go in and tell you things about people I worked with that are negative to the end or make you go, oh, that's juicy. I'm like, that's nobody else's business. That's just decency. I believe it's just being decent.
Sure. And it's also protecting the people you love on another level.
Sure.
Right.
Yep.
But, so I like the list at the end. It's nice, that how about that? I believe you. How about that? I believe that. How about that? I believe that that's a list that you wrote when you were,
1992 or 3.
10 goals in life. Become a father, find and keep the woman for me, keep my relationship with God, chase my best self, be an egotistical utilitarian.
Utilitarian.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the system in the book.
It is.
Take more risks, stay close to mom and family, win an Oscar for Best Actor, look back and enjoy the view, just keep living. So that's nice when you, because like I know that about myself. Like, and you didn't know this list was around until you started going through the shit to write the book?
I forgot where I put that list the day after I wrote it. Right.
Like there's things in my mind where I'm like, I want to manifest that, but I don't want to talk about it too much. And I just know I'm write it down on a note. And then years later, you're like, okay, I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Right.
Right.
Where subconsciously, if what we write down is true, it's in our lineage.
Yeah.
And it's the things that I notice that I'll write down. I go, I'm chasing it. If I'm playing grab ass with my thoughts or grab ass with my memories, trying to chase it back down, I'm like, oh, well, you didn't quite mean it. I'd say this about I write everything down so I can forget it. You know what I mean? I write it down because I go, oh, I don't want to forget that. So I'm going to write it down so I can.
Right.
It'll be there.
I definitely relate to that. So how's your level of loathing these days?
I'm happy to say it's pretty low.
That's good.
I'm more loathing for can we get through this year? Can we get through COVID? Can we get through the Cultural Revolution? Can we get through the election?
Yeah.
Without having a civil war?
I don't know.
Can we constructively turn a page here? When is that balance? When can that proverbial hand on the clock that was maybe oppressed to the 4? When can it, if 6 is justice and right now it's swung over to 8 and bypassed straight up, when can it level out and we can go, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Where are we going?
Right.
Where are we going?
Right.
It's about us. Where are we going? And for me, I'd like to meet you in the middle. Man, I'd like to meet you in the table like this and go, let's talk about it. Let's have some conversations without condemnations. Let's see how this COVID time with this invisible enemy we had, how can we, what are the positives? What are the assets this time? Well, I've been forced to do more inventory. I've been spending more time with my kids. I've been doing more cooking with my kids. My kids are taking up on their creative hobbies more than they were before. I've been petting my dogs longer.
Yeah.
There are some assets to it. So where do we get it? What's the way we're going to work? Are we doing this? Is this the way you and I talk for the rest of our life?
I hope not.
Maybe.
Ugh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. And it's got its assets too, because there's a lot of people that I talk with on Zoom.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I prefer this.
Yeah. It's easier.
My loathing is more about, and look, I'm in no place. I'm not in a place to that. I've got my own stress going on to keep our ship afloat here, keep our head above water as a family, which is my first priority. But I'm more, I'm in a privileged position. My pantry's full.
Yeah.
I don't have to work today to pay my rent tomorrow. So I'm in a privileged position that a lot of people are not. My loathing is more for those people that cannot. And what are we going to do as humanity
on behalf of
to turn
them,
the page out of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's really hard to say, man. It's a lot to carry every day because depending on, I'd rather have your brain than mine in times like this, in the sense that it's hard not to get, weighted down with the darkness of it.
It is, but I think we got to believe, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what's our alternative? We got to believe that there's a light out of this where we're going to evolve. We have to. If not, if we don't believe that and it is the end of the world, well, then fuck it. We might as well believe we can get out of it anyway.
Or just
have a fighting chance.
The end of the country. Ireland's nice. You spent time in Ireland. Could you live in Ireland?
Singapore's nice. I mean, right now, I think more than ever, it's a time where it's like, where do you want to live on the planet Earth? And I'm even thinking about, for the first time in my life, was it all restrained to Earth only?
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where,
when's Branson getting the rocket done? I'm ready.
I mean? But where on the planet would you really like to live?
Yeah.
For you and your family, your kids. And this is an example, these discussions like this remote living, that you can kind of live where the hell you want and be wherever you want.
That's the weird thing. It's like, yeah, it is a privileged place to be, to make those kind of decisions, be able to make those kind of decisions. But to realize, we I don't know, we gotta, I guess, it's like hope for the best is one thing, but obviously something has shifted kind of permanently, and there is an adaptation to make. Whether or not we fall on on the side of sustaining life on the planet or we don't, it's tough. It's a tough call right now, but we'll see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we will see. We will see, and I hope that we don't. It's so easy right now. You got the perfect Bermuda Triangle. You've got unemployment. You got this invisible murderer called COVID, who is also in our psyche because Americans, we want to meet the enemy at the gate. This is one of those ones that says, "Yeah, that's where I want him. I want you to meet me. Come on out."
Sure.
so you can take it back into your home. So,
or you can choose to deny it. Yeah,
or deny it even exists.
We've got the Bermuda Triangle of COVID, of environmental problems and a tremendous kind of chaotic lack of leadership that's making it's exacerbated. It's crazy town.
And so what do we do? And this is why part of the reason we're getting even more extreme right now. People don't have an identity. They've lost purpose. They're wondering what the fuck's going on in the world. I don't know what the next step is. I'm unemployed. Well, I want to cling on to something to feel like my feet are on the ground.
How about
what are they clinging on to? These tribes that are way over here on the extreme.
How about hate? Let's cling on to hate.
Yeah. I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want, and that's whatever you're selling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got somebody says the other day. They said, "Where do you sit politically?" I said, "Man, I'm aggressively centric." I said, I'll meet you in the middle, man. And like, ain't nothing in the middle but yellow. Ain't nothing in the middle of the highway but yellow lines and dead armadillos. And I said, well, let me tell you something, bud. I said, I'm walking down the middle here and the armadillos are running free because the left and the right are so far to the left and the right. Their tires ain't even on the fucking pavement. They're in the dirt.
Yeah. I got free road here.
The shoulder.
Yeah. Open road. Well, we'll see what happens, man. But I enjoyed the book. I'm glad we talked, I enjoyed.
I am too. I enjoyed it. I was looking forward to talking to you, and glad we did.
And I enjoy your work. We didn't talk about True Detective. That was great. And
thank you. I missed that.
Yeah, it's always good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. Carry on. If you ever get past Abiquiu, go hop over there. Old brother Christian's the abbot over there.
I will. Maybe I'll see you at Opie sometime.
Deal.
Okay, man.
Sausage and jalapeno corn.
I'm in.
Just keep living.
Thanks, buddy.
Later.
There you go. There's a moment in there, and I'm not going to tell you which one it was, where I think you get a window into what's behind. All right. You see a little what's behind there. His book is called Greenlights. You can get it wherever you get books. And don't forget to catch HBO Max's new comedy special, Chelsea Handler Evolution, now streaming. Chelsea shares hilarious experiences about her family, friendships, and her first foray into therapy. This is Chelsea on Chelsea, as she reflects on her personal journey toward self-awareness, assisted by her reliable companion, Cannabis. Never one to hold back, Chelsea bravely takes the stage to face herself in front of everyone. Chelsea Handler Evolution, now streaming only on HBO Max. Okay, now I will play some distorted loud guitar for you. Fonda, all the cat angels.